Hi, everyone. Before we get started, make sure you've done the AI assignment from the week 4 video and introduce yourself in discussions on Brightspace. I know some of you have done this already, but some of you have not. So please just say hello, post your um, website if you have one. If you don't, then that's not a problem. But yes, introduce yourself so everyone knows the other people who are in our class. So today we're talking about networking. And this is something you're doing already, but I'm talking about being proactive about it when you're trying to find a job. I'm going to do a quick review and discuss how to start doing more immediately. Very simply, your network means people that you know. They may be friends, family, casual acquaintances, work pals, schoolmates, professors, industry contacts. These are all circles of contact which sometimes overlap, but sometimes they don't. In these days of online work and everyone being obsessed with their phones, it's more important than ever to maintain contact with real flesh and blood people. Not to mention making new friends, meeting possible girlfriends or boyfriends. But it's also crucial to your job hunt. A good place to start your network is to look at your classmates. The first step is to link with all of these people on LinkedIn. And by the way, link with me too if you haven't already. I've mentioned this before. And some of you, again, have done it, and some of you have not. And the reason to link with me is not because we're great buddies or anything, even though we are, but you link with my network, I link with your network, and all of a sudden both of our networks have expanded. This is a good thing. So there are City Tech alumni out in the industry now, and they also are on LinkedIn. So if you come across people who are City Tech people, or even CUNY people for that matter, link with them. With classmates, you have a ready-made set of people with similar experience and interest who will be your contacts, and they're often your friends. They're also looking for work, and in some cases, they're already working. They can, for instance, tell you about job openings, companies that are expanding, people that are hiring, positions that are open when they hear about them. They might even recommend you for a job. On Facebook, if you remember, there's a page called Ask a City Tech Grad. If you're on Facebook, or you happen to join Facebook, which is not a terrible idea, I can invite you onto that page, and there are interviews with City Tech graduates who have successfully launched themselves into the industry. And they're also contactable. Look for them on LinkedIn. In the interview with Tim Locke, that's Tim L-O-K Locke, he particularly talks about how he used his school network to get himself into the industry. There's also a communication design at City Tech Facebook page. Facebook has becoming less popular in recent times, but people still post jobs and internships there sometimes. I'll post these links on Brightspace. When you come across City Tech graduates on social media, introduce yourself and link to them on LinkedIn. And you may not have an immediate need to talk to them about anything, but they could be helpful in the future. So be proactive even when you don't need to be, because later on it will come in useful. So then you can link to your professors. Then link with the people on your jobs, even your non-design jobs, but definitely your internships and people you meet at like school events or meetups or professional organizations I'm always talking about. I've put a list of the professional organizations on Brightspace, including the one club, the Art Directors Club, the Type Directors Club, the Society of Publication Designers, SIGGRAPH, the Illustrator Society, and AIGA for graphic designers. There's something for everyone. There's also other organizations out there, but those are the kind of big ones in New York. All of these organizations hold events. They hold speaker events. They have, celebration of advertising parties, and, they have competitions, design competitions. They have student design competitions. Not a bad idea to just look them all up and look for that kind of thing. And each one of these events is an opportunity to network. For the professional organizations, join now while you're a student so you can get student prices. It lasts for a year. And now that you're finalizing your personal branding, you can bring up some business cards, put a QR code on the back that goes to your website, and have it handy to give out to anyone you make contact with at the event. Business card is one of the assignments this week, but I'll talk about it at the end of the video. Professor Garastegui, who is now the chairman of ComD, he was on the board of AIGA. So if you have particular questions about that one, he's a good person to ask because they are doing quite a lot. They're doing quite a lot in the design industry, and he's a very nice guy. I recommend that you join 2 or 3 of these organizations while it's cheap, and you check them out and you see which one you like the best. When I lived in New York, at various times I joined AIGA, the Art Directors Club, and the Type Directors Club. So the one I liked the best was the Type Directors Club, because I'm kind of a typography person. But it's up to you to figure out what's best for you. And I think the Type Directors Club has merged with AIGA. Anyway, they keep joining each other and splitting apart, and it's like biology. But anyway, look them up. They still have their websites, and it's on Brightspace. So, just roam around their websites and see what looks good to you. So when you join these organizations, you find out about events, and then you go to them. If you volunteer to help out running an event, you can get into it for free or at a discount. You can mingle, give people your newly designed business cards, tell them that you're going to graduate soon, tell them about CityTech, tell them you're looking for work, give them your card, show off your knowledge, impress them with your card design, make a connection, link with them on LinkedIn. This is why your personal branding and logo and font and everything is so important, because you're talking to somebody at a party and you say, here's my card. You're immediately making an impression on them. Do I like this person's design sensibility? Do they have a design sensibility? Oh, look at this card. Here it is. It looks pretty good. This is somebody worth contacting in the future. You want to have that immediate connection because they're going to talk to 50 people that night. But this one, they can stick you in their pocket, in other words. You can also network in a similar way at meetups. Always have a business card in your back pocket. You'll never know when you might need it. The other big resource for networking is, of course, your professors, particularly professors you are friendly with. Professors can hook you up with internships, with jobs, a reference either for a job or a graduate school. Whenever these opportunities come along, jump on them. I have occasionally helped people get jobs and internships myself. It was easier when I was in New York, but it still happens sometimes. Other professors can do this too. For instance, I keep in touch with many of my former students. I try to help them, and in turn, they help other students and sometimes come back to give a talk about their experience, like a Meet the Pros speaker event or an Ask a CityTech grad video. So check out some of the videos. They're pretty funny. If you're going to use a professor for a reference or a recommendation, it's polite to approach them individually. I once got an email from a student who sent a group email to me and 10 other professors, and he said, I always got along with you. You know my work. Please write me a recommendation. So it wasn't exactly personal. Professors don't get paid for doing this kind of work, and it can take a lot of time. So it's gracious, at the very least, to address us individually and to say thank you. Sometimes CityTech grads can be out in the field for several years and be debating whether they should go to graduate school. We've had situations that when someone wants to go to grad school, it turns out that a CityTech professor also works at the graduate school. Sometimes there are other CityTech grads at that very time taking that same graduate course, and you can get in touch with them. They can be part of your network. They can tell you about the course. Is it worth investing in such a thing? So the bottom line is be in contact with people. Tell the world what you're about. And if you're looking for a job, don't hesitate to tell people you're looking for a job. Another networking possibility are ComD speakers. The department invites different speakers to give presentations every semester, like the Meet the Pros events. All kinds of interesting people from big media companies like Google and Amazon and Microsoft, as well as small design studios and agencies, have participated in the past, and we will have some this semester. When you go to a departmental event, listen to the speaker, ask questions, which is always impressive. Afterwards, you go and you say hello, connect with them on LinkedIn, and remind them who you are. Remember that you were at City Tech the other night? You gave it, and I was the guy wearing the purple hat, and we were talking about UI, UX. And so you make that connection, and you make it a visual connection. And you say, remember, I gave you my card. It's another networking possibility. And in my experience, our visiting speakers are very generous with their time, and they like talking to students. LinkedIn and Behance are a resource for recruiters. Recruiters will frequently go online and check out design portfolios and LinkedIn profiles to hire designers. As you update your resume, update your LinkedIn profile. As you update your projects, update your website. It's a quick and easy way for you to get on their radar. I've posted a list of keywords on Brightspace that should be included on your resume, but also put those keywords in your profile. Recruiters will do a search for the words that describe your perfect job. Make sure you have all those words on your profile. So if you don't know what I mean by keywords, say Adobe Photoshop, for instance, make sure that that's written somewhere on your resume and on your LinkedIn, or UI UX expert, or I really want to work in UI UX. Make sure that's somewhere in your digital presence, because people will search for that. I'm in New York, and that's what I want to do. So an example of networking was my niece was looking for a job. She had studied film studies. My brother, her father, was sitting in a pub, and one of the regulars that he had known for years walked in. My brother mentioned that his daughter was looking for work in television. Turns out the regular also worked in television. My brother never knew that before, and he hooked her up with an interview, and she got the job. So you never know who you accidentally know. People that you know very well, they may not be in the business, but their cousin is, or their wife's sister. There's all kinds of different ways of networking that are unexpected and good. So this week, 2 assignments. The first is, as I mentioned before, design a business card that uses your new branding, which is your beautiful logo and the fonts that you use on your resume. You see, you put the logo big on one side and the contact information and a QR code that goes to your website on the other. And you have another essay to write. This time it's about a design event where you describe the event and what you thought about it. The design event can be a City Tech speaker, or an event at a professional organization like the One Club, or something at the Design Museum, or if you go to Apple stores, they often have speaker events at an Apple store. Basically, you need to get out into New York City and find out what's going on in this amazing design center. And you're reporting back. So who was speaking? What did they have to say? Was it interesting? Was it informative? You have till the end of basically you have till the middle of November to get this done. So you have like 4 weeks to figure out a design event and attend it. And it's a good idea to go with a friend. If you can go with another portfolio student, that's great. It doesn't have to be, though. So I'm making this very easy, giving you a lot of time, but don't forget to do it. And it'll just impress you how easy it is to find cool stuff going on in New York City, and how easy it is to meet other designers. I will talk to you on Sunday and Monday.